and myself, we put to sea in a 9-metre wooden fishing boat with nearly 40 other people. We were crammed like sardines, so tightly packed were we could barely breathe. As our boat pulled out and into the river, the guards actually saw us, and they gave chase and fired their guns, hoping to sink us. But fortunately, as it was getting darker, we got away. But as the boat pulled out and into the ocean, my dad actually turned around and took one last look at his home country, knowing that he'll never see it again. At that point, my mum actually recalls him crying, because he and my uncles were leaving a country that for 10 long years they'd fought so hard to defend. After a day out at sea, our boat began leaking. And every time a big wave came, people would rush to drain water off the boat to keep it from sinking. After 2 days, our engine failed and we essentially began drifting. And on the third day, we were hungry, we were thirsty. We were running out of food, running out of water. When suddenly we saw a boat come towards us from a distance, we were so happy, thinking we were saved. We jumped up and down calling for the boat's attention. But as the boat got closer and closer, however, we realized it was a fishing boat. But at that point in time, in that part of the water, it meant only one thing: pirates. These ones fishermen realized it was easier for them to rob refugees than it was to fish. So they came over, ran the boat into ours, tied the boats together, and several men, yelling, screaming, holding machetes, jumped aboard our boat, grabbed all of us, and dragged us up onto their deck. And one by one, they lined us up, they stripped us, and they searched us. They took almost everything we had. By the time they left, we didn't have much valuable left. They'd even taken our compass. Mum brought along some infant milk to feed Anne and I on this journey, or we even poured that out in their search for gold and for jewellery. Fortunately, they hadn't taken or harmed any of the women. So for the next few hours, our boat continued to drift, and we were hoping and praying for a miracle. Eventually, we saw another boat coming towards us from a distance, but it wasn't the miracle we were hoping for. It was another group of pirates. But this time, they were even more vicious. Again, they came over. Again, they ran the boat into ours. Again, they tied the boats together. Again, they jumped aboard our boat, grabbed all of us, and dragged us up onto their deck. Again, they lined us up, they stripped us, and they searched us. But this time, we didn't have much left for them to take. They weren't happy we had nothing left. What's more, they didn't believe we had nothing left. So what did they do? They grabbed the youngest child on board our boat and held him up overboard and said, "If you don't tell us where your gold or jewelry is, we're going to throw this boy over and he's going to die." Many years later, my uncle recalls this moment. He says to me, he was about 5 seconds away from jumping into fight to try and save this boy's life. My uncle was a